Well, look, while he's looking at that, we're going to go into the top 5 interior D linemen. Um, Alrighty. And I'll go into it. I'll start Tyler Davis, Clemson. Got him as my number 5. Dominating the ACC. We know about all the talent that left Clemson this past year and went to the draft. So I really feel like he's primed and ready to kind of take over at the absence of the Miles Murphys and the Brian Brzezis and all these type of things. Number 4, Miki Wingo out of LSU. St. Louis narrative. He's a St. Louis native, Scott, from your hometown, baby, your area, man. Racked up 48 stops and tied the Bayou Bengals in the tackles for loss last year. This guy is somebody that really is coming along as somebody that's really going to help that defense. We already know kind of what the edge is bringing, especially in the linebackers and whatnot. Number 3 for me, Akeem Mesdor out of Miami, a Canadian. A Canadian,
Yeah.
had 10 and a half tackles for loss last year, and a sack in the season opener against Bethune-Cookman. This guy has been balling out through the series. Great size, 6'3", 280. And had a game where he had 3.5 sacks against Virginia Tech. Like, just his explosiveness, the way he's able to get off the ball. Obviously, we really were let down by what Miami did last year, but he was really one of those that kind of was a bright spot. Number 2 for me, actually number 2 and 1 coming from the same area. Number 2 is Keith Randolph. Number 2, Jerzon Newton. Both of these guys are big, dominate in the middle. Randolph is 6'5", 305, just bullying that middle of that line, man. All Big Ten honors. Our third team all Big Ten honors a year ago, man. And then Newton had all AP All-American honors, man. 6'2", 295. I'm hyped to see that Illinois is one of these teams that you might not necessarily look at immediately when you're looking into the Big Ten. But Illinois, for those of you that don't know, man, they breed some ballers out there, man.
Oh, yeah.
Washington picked up Jartavius Quan Martin.
Yeah.
We know about their big name corner that came out.
Devon Witherspoon.
Got picked what? 10. Yeah, Witherspoon got picked 11th, right? 11th, or was it 12th?
Seattle picked him 5th.
He got picked that early. Yes, that's right. Yo. So, definitely watch out for Illinois in coming years, man. So I'm excited. What's your top 5 interior, man?
So number 5, I threw my boy in there, Mason Graham. As that true freshman last year, didn't stack up the stat sheet. 27 tackles, 2.5 sacks. But he wasn't really asked to do any of the main stuff. He was making linebackers look good, which he did. I look for him as a 19-year-old kid come in, take over, and lead that D line. Number 4 for me is Meki Wingo from LSU. For everything you said, the guy is an absolute baller. Number 3 for me, another guy that was on your list, Jerzon Newton, Illinois. Just an absolute animal. Locks down the run game, and is a big problem in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Number 2 for me is Tyler Davis from Clemson. I look for him to take over. Brian Brzezis out, Miles Murphy's out. They're gonna need somebody to take over, and I think he's that guy. And number 1 for me comes from the University of Cincinnati, Dante Corleone.
Oh,
love the name, but he brings it. He is nasty. He's gritty. Great in the run game. Can push the pocket. There's nothing he can't do. And again, this is another really good group of DTs where there's no really runaway guy. So I'm kind of glad there were a few different names in the groups here, because yeah, there's a lot of different guys that need recognition and could be number one in this class by the end of the year.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. So it makes it exciting to see who's coming back and kind of where some of these guys are positioned, because then you start to understand how dominant these teams really are, because a lot of these guys might not get all of the front page media and all the major highlights, but they're the ones doing a lot of the work. So yeah,